Coffee with the Mighty Miracle Man time. Would you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is David Reynard. I just started doing public speaking to talk about what I've gone through in the last 2 years with my medical battle. In 2023, uh, I hit the floor at work where my legs gave out from me, underneath me. Ended up in the emergency room at 4 a.m. Through a series of tests and everything to find out in June that I had a 2-inch mass in my liver. And I went through biopsy, ended up sepsis from the biopsy, in emergency room, in ICU for 6 weeks, died twice with sepsis. Then ended up in Minnesota at Mayo Clinic for testing on the mass to find out that I had stage 4 liver cancer and it was in liver failure. Went through cancer treatment. By January of 24, I was cancer free, still in liver failure, trying to get on the transplant list, and joined the gym in April to combat chronic pain and that was the result of the cancer. I
Mm.
had been bedridden for like 8 months, but I had went back to work in January and chronic pain still, but I needed an income. And in April, they told me I needed to come off the painkillers and to be considered for the transplant list. So I started doing weightlifting and resistance training to combat the pain. Everything looked like I was going great. I'm up for my quarterly exam in August. And as I was waiting for the last test result, I was boarding the plane to fly home to Ohio and got the phone call that I had a 6 millimeter recurrence of the cancer, a blood clot, and that we were starting over again.
That's terrible.
And then we go through, do the quarterly testing in December, and found out that the 6 millimeter had grown to 11 millimeters, and the second tumor was found that was 3 millimeters. So the cancer was spread.
Yikes.
Go 3 weeks and I get a phone call on Christmas Eve that they have the liver for me. So I jumped, left work, jumped on a plane, flew to Arizona. 4 hours before surgery, they came in and told me that it wasn't going to happen. Something had happened with the liver. Got on a plane, flew 16 hours back on Christmas Day, went in and worked the day after Christmas in retail on like 4 hours of sleep since the 23rd. Worked the full shift. Had that Friday off, planned on crashing. They called me at 10 o'clock in the morning with a second possibility of a second liver. So I'm wide awake, thinking about, the flight again, all the arrangements and everything. 9 p.m. comes and that one failed. So I'm like, okay, it's not meant to be. It will happen when it will happen. Come Saturday, I'm driving into work, pull into the parking lot as I'm getting out, ready to get out of the car to go into work. I get a third phone call with the possibility of a third liver. And I'm like, yeah, third time's a charm. And they said, well, we'll let you know by 11 o'clock tonight. 9 o'clock comes. I get the phone call, leave work, get to your apartment, get your luggage, and we'll work on the charter flight for you. So for the third time in 4 days, I was flying across country. We got there at 5 o'clock in the morning, was on the operating table by 6 a.m. So within an hour of landing, I was getting my transplant and woke up 6 hours later. No pain from the surgery, just pain from the drainage tubes. By day 4, I was off the pain. I had told them that I was denying the pain medicine, just doing muscle relaxers and Tylenol, planned to fly the stairs. By day 12, post surgery, I did walk for 2.5 miles. Day 15, I did a 6 mile hike in a 6 mile hike on a mountain.
That's amazing.
And here I am 3 months post surgery. Well, not even 3 months, 2.5 months.
That's awesome.
And my customers, I have 16,000 customers that come in a month where I work and to check on me. I had 11,000 during 2023 that the 8 months I was out was coming in wanting updates. How's he doing? He's still alive, right?
Yes.
And I shared everything in 2024 about what was going on, what I had went through. Well, not everything, but the gist of it. And
Enough to satisfy their curiosity.
well, and everybody has taken a little tidbit here and there from it in their own life. I had one of my customers come in back in October or November, and told me that he was had just been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And I asked him how he was handling the news and, how he felt. He says, I was pitiful for 2 days. He says, then we talked, him and his wife had talked, and says, we're going to fight it like you did. Fire in the gut and a smile on the face. And he says, you're the inspiration.
I love that.
And I've
That's
had
what it's
multiple,
all about. Inspiring people.
I had, I've had multiple people come up and tell me that uh, the way that I came out of the cancer the first time around, because I quit drinking, I quit smoking, I changed my diet. I mean, I was determined to fight the diagnosis
Yes.
and survive. I mean, and that's part of my story now is don't wait to make changes in your life until you're faced with death. You know, get a new perspective of what you're wanting now and take a step towards it.
There's no better time to start something than today.
Right.
And the best time was yesterday, of course, but the next best time is right now in this moment.
Yes. And, I had to, during the process of coping with the news, the diagnosis, treatment, and everything, I had to rewire my brain from the sorrowful place that I had let myself get to learning to enjoy every minute, be grateful every day that I woke up because, I had died. I had almost died 15 times. I had to, rework my brain to say, enjoy every minute because you don't know if you're going to wake up the next day. And you don't know if I had to think of it as I didn't know if I would be alive the next minute. And
Absolutely.
and they told me after the transplant at one of my follow-up visits that by all means I should not have been there talking to them, that I should have passed about 6 months ago. That they really don't know how I was doing what I was doing, and let alone walk into the hospital.
Only God.
Yep. Oh, God's been allowing me for, through every inch of this journey.
Absolutely. That's the only way I'm here. And I love interviewing people like you who also see that is why you're here.
Yep. I looked at it this way. He kept me around for some purpose. And if this is my purpose of telling my story so that it gives comfort to somebody or inspiration to them, for what they're going through in their life, then that's what I'm going to do. I
Mm.
started my own business a couple of weeks ago, got my website up and running. Already recorded a video for an upcoming Amazon Prime TV series that's going to be airing in 2 to 3 weeks. I
Nice.
started writing a book last week, and I've got 56 pages written up in it already. If I can get as much of this stuff done before I go back to my regular work after medical leave, until speaking gigs start coming in, I'm going to do everything I can. I've went to a community town hall meeting last Thursday. I'm going to a group session, a group meeting tonight
Yes.
for a fundraiser. I was requested to attend the town hall meeting last week by 3 people, so I made an effort to get there. Had a blast, met a lot of people, had people come up to me after the meeting who knew me from work, who had seen me at work and knew of me. And the one was a mother of one of the kids that works with me, and saying how much she appreciates the fact that I take care of her son, that I watch out for him, and that I'm very protective of the teenagers that work with me.
Yes.
And she's, I deal with being gay, I deal with the gay community. And her son happens to be gay, and she wanted to advise me that that meant so much that I was a mentor for him, and that to see that you can be your true identity. And that was something else that I had to
Yes.
refocus on during this medical, was to stop hiding who I was and be my authentic self.
Yes.
So if somebody has a problem with it, it's their problem, not mine.
Exactly.
I'm going to be exactly who I am and do exactly what I feel I need to be doing, and meet the people that are, like-minded.
Yes. Like I always say, if someone has a problem with you and they talk about you, what they saying, that's their problem, not yours.
Uh-huh. And the fact that you're living rent-free in their head,
Mm.
they might not be agreeing with you and they might not like you, but they're thinking about you.
Yes,
So you're getting known one way or the other.
exactly.
I mean, I have customers that, that are deaf, mute, autistic, Down syndrome, and they come to me because they know I don't see them differently. I
You're
deal with all races.
accepting.
I,
You love everyone.
I love everybody. I give everybody the same treatment. You know, one of
That's
my quotes
like
is,
Jesus.
uh-huh. I said, one of my quotes is, "You give what you get, and you get what you give. If you put out light, you receive light. If you put out negativity, you're going to receive it. And when you receive what you put out, you receive it tenfold. So if you put out a lot of negativity, you're going to be miserable. If you put out a lot of
Absolutely.
light, you're going to be very happy.
Mm.
And just let life occur. Don't, you can fight for what your dreams are, but let it come in its time.
Yes,
Take the efforts, but it will happen when it's supposed to happen.
yes. That's one of the reasons I always say, and one of my quotes is never give up, never say never, and God will bring you through. Just keep the faith, and it's all His timing.
Mhm. I said, I'm just on the bus as a passenger. God's at the wheel. You just
Yes,
enjoy the ride. There might be a few bumps, but enjoy the ride.
yes,
And my motto for my company is always forward, never backwards. Being a sober alcoholic and ex-smoker, two-time cancer fighter, liver transplant recipient. My life is forward. I'm never going backwards.
Amen.
And, I've been given a second chance to live and live healthy, and I'm going to do that.
Yes.
And, if you try to stand in my way, be ready to be tramped over
Mm.
because I'm going forward. I'm not going to be, I might be paused, but I'm not going to be stopped.
It's like parkour, and you move forward through every obstacle, over every obstacle, no matter what.
Yep. Being thrown, in the last 2 years, I've been thrown cancer at me twice, a blood clot, liver failure, extreme liver failure, multiple ailments that hospitalized me at critical stages. And within a day or so, I'm back at work and like nothing had ever happened. And they're like, "How do you do this? How do you bounce back?" I said, "Because you have to." I said, "You have two options. When you are diagnosed with cancer and given 30 days to live, you have two options: fight like a rabid dog
Mm.
or curl up in a ball and cry until it ends." And I said, I fought. I said, I just happen to have a smile on my face.
That's a good way to put it. Fight like a rabid dog or curl up and die, basically.
I had two options, and I was not going to curl up and cry. I
Yes,
did enough of that while I was in pain. I was not going to sit there and do it and just die.
exactly. There is no quitting in you either.
And now people look at me 2 years later. I pulled up a picture of me from January of 23, a month before everything started to go south. I mean, south big time. And quickly, because I lost 40 pounds, no, 70 pounds between February and June. I lost 70 pounds in 4 months.
Yikes. I know how that is because I lost a lot of weight in a coma too. So I don't advise people to lose weight that way. It's a bad way.
Yeah. I mean, it takes for somebody to truly understand where somebody like us have gone through. They have had to have gone through it,
Yes,
but we can at least relay our stories and get it out there so that somebody going through something less severe can see that there is hope in a fight, in a battle.
absolutely.
Whether it is relationship struggles or the flu, you know, you're going to get through it.
Yes,
Use us as an example that we're told you're dead or you're dying or you should have been dead. You
yes,
know, we fought.
yes. It's like I like to tell people it may not be okay now, but maybe tomorrow, maybe not, but sometime in the future, you will be okay and things will get better. I mean, I have more life than I deserve. I've I've gone through some terrible things too, and you have also, and you know that it always gets better eventually.
I'm actually surprised at how fast, 2 years went. It's been 22 months, and how fast those 22 months have gone and how drastic my life has changed in 22 months. And, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the generosity of some person that checked a box on to be an organ donor. There is a huge possibility that, I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for that transplant at the end of December.
That's powerful.
And to have that realization on top of what I had already went through, have to refocus my mind. But to know that somebody had to die for me to survive is gut wrenching. And I'm very thankful. The saying thank you is not enough words. What that person's family went through, losing their loved one, but that gift that that loved one gave to not only me, but who knows how many other recipients of organs that came from that.
Absolutely.
So I'm just one person out of numerous people that one checkbox, one yes to a question impacted.
Yes, I love that. It's all about impact. How can you help people make an impact? And
And
that's great.
and that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this because speaking about it is to give people comfort, a little inspiration, you know, motivation, empower them to take control and make the changes that they want to make happen. But at the same time, I'm very humbled by everything. You know, to have so many people that have shown me love and kindness these last 2 years that have stood there and checked on me. How are you
Yes,
doing? You're looking tired today. You need to go home and sleep. Watching my every move to make sure that I was
yes,
not overdoing it and that I was not going to put myself at risk or injury or whatever. And now they're looking at me, the ones that I've seen since I've been back to Ohio, because I'm off work until the end of April, 1st of May, still
mhm.
recovering. But I made trips to the store, and my regular customers that have seen me have almost been in tears or jumping up and down in joy seeing me because I have drastically changed in appearance.
Yes,
This new liver kicked in and I lost 20 pounds because of dump the toxins out of my body that the other
yes.
liver couldn't do. My skin color has come back. My skin tone is, my complexion is completely different. Uh, I have energy that, you can't shake a stick at.
Mm.
I'm constantly on the go. And I'm going on 3 or 4 hours of sleep most nights because I cannot settle down because I got everything racing through my head of
Your
what I want
brain
to do
just
with it.
doesn't shut off. I
No, because
relate.
you're grateful and excited to still be here, but
Yes.
you're constantly thinking, okay, what's my purpose? Why was I kept?
Hmm.
So, and that's how I feel. I was kept, not once, but multiple times, especially in the last 2 years. You know, I have a purpose, and now I have to figure out what that is.
Yes.
And I'm being guided to people to do that because they have found inspiration out of my story. They have found strength. They have made bold moves in their lives based off of my courage and my drive and my fight. And just saying those words out loud, it seems strange because I felt insignificant before all this. And I felt like I was in the shadows. I felt like I blended in,
Yes,
and to have everybody come forward and tell me how much I meant to them is unsettling.
I know how that is. Like, uh, after my accident and my traumatic brain injury, everyone in my high school came out of the woodwork. It seemed, and told my parents how much I meant to them. It's like if that kid walking down the hallway, you don't even know their name, but you say hi and wave. It's
Yep.
like that impacts them. And for all you know, no one else does that.
Well, that was, I've been called out for that too because I say hi to everybody, not just at work. If I'm out shopping, I say hi to people. Have a good day. How are you doing? You
Yes,
know, spread a smile because they are infectious. If you spread it, if you give somebody else a smile, they're going to share it with the next person.
yes. It's
And
much more
it's amazing.
infectious.
It is amazing the little act of smiling at somebody, the impact that it can have on everybody around that person. That one simple act or gift of giving somebody a smile and letting them share that smile with the next person or the person after that. We would be a lot better society if more people
Yes,
adapted or adopted that thought process. Share a smile, not a
indeed.
frown.
It takes less muscles to smile than frown, they say. I haven't researched that, but I think it probably is true and it's bad for society.
But just to be able to make, I promised my dad when he was dying 4 years ago, it'll be 4 years at the end of this month, that he asked me to do one thing for him, and that was try to make somebody smile every day. And in the 4 years since his death, I have tried that, and it's empowering, it's impactful that that simple act of a smile, how it resonates through people. You give somebody that's in a bad mood a smile,
Mm,
and their whole day changes.
yes,
So,
it's
I mean,
amazing.
it helps if you're a little crazy too,
Mm.
because my people around me don't know what to expect out of me. Because through all this, I've learned whatever
We're
comes through
not
my head.
supposed to tell people we're crazy.
Well, I'm a little off center, put it that way.
And that's more socially acceptable.
Yeah, I'm a little off center because they never know what's going to come out of my mouth because I've learned to be and be honest with people. So whatever comes across my head comes out of my mouth.
Yes,
It might not be the coolest or polite thing to say at the time, but they know that it's coming out of my heart.
yes,
That no, this is a little wrong. Fix it. Or
yes,
I've dealt with people that have physically cut since I went through this stuff. As
yes,
they're I won't go into details, but you know what I'm saying of who what they're doing, and I'm like, no, that's not acceptable. I said because you're talking to somebody that has died.
yes,
Taking that risk is not acceptable for me. I said if you feel that need again, you call me. I don't care what time of the hour it is, you reach out.
yes. I'm the same way. It looks like we're running out of time, but is there anything you would like to leave the audience with?
And they can, if they're interested, they can contact me and through my website, which is www.empoweredbydavidrenard.com, and my contact information's there. And
And thank you so much for talking with me. And it was great hearing your story. I'm sure a lot of people will be inspired by this.
I thank you for having me on today.
Of course, that's what it's all about, inspiring people. You take care. We'll talk on Messenger, okay?
Okay, thank you. You have a great day.
Bye bye.
Keep doing what you're doing.